Vision alone is a compass, but a compass is useless if you never take the first step. This is where discipline becomes your oxygen. Because dreams without discipline rot into delusion, you don't rise by wishing, you rise by working daily, quietly, obsessively while the world still sleeps. Average people look for motivation. They wait to feel ready, they hope for permission, but those who rise, those who win, don't wait for perfect conditions. They create them. They understand the truth. Discipline is freedom. Discipline is power. Discipline is the muscle that turns vision into reality, because the universe does not respond to your desires. It responds to your standards, and your standards are not what you speak about when you're feeling inspired. They're what you tolerate when no one is watching. So ask yourself right now, what are you tolerating? Mediocre habits, weak thoughts, excuses wrapped in logic. You want the results of the greats, but are you living by their standards? Are you willing to do what they did, to suffer as they suffered? To build when no one claps and no one notices? Carnegie didn't become the Steel King by chance. He became it by waking before the world and sleeping long after it. He filled his mind with books, with knowledge, with ideas that stretch generations. He outworked, outlearned, and outlasted. That is the path. There is no secret door. There is no shortcut. There is only the work and who you become and the doing of it. But here's what the average never understand. Work doesn't drain you, it builds you. When you're aligned with your vision, when you wake up with purpose, when every action moves you closer to destiny, the grind becomes sacred. You don't chase comfort anymore. You chase contribution. You don't fear hard. You fear regret, because there is nothing more terrifying than living a life that never becomes what it could have been. Discipline must become your default. And not just in your career, but in your mind, your emotions, your environment, your circle. Protect your energy like your life depends on it, because it does. Guard your mind from the poison of the masses. They will laugh at your ambition. They will mock your schedule. They will call your consistency obsession. Let them, because while they watch Netflix, you're building your legacy. While they scroll, you study. While they complain, you create. While they sleep, you train, and over time, your results will silence every critic. But even discipline is nothing without purpose. That burning why that lives in your chest, the thing that keeps you moving. When your body says no, the reason you rise again when everything says stay down. Without purpose, you'll quit. Without purpose, you'll sell your soul for comfort. Purpose is the difference between men who build empires and men who spend a lifetime building nothing. So, what is your purpose? Not your job title, not your degree, not your LinkedIn summary. I mean your real why, that sacred fire, that unshakable mission that makes the pain worth it. For Lincoln, it was uniting a broken nation. For Edison, it was illuminating the world. For you, it might be breaking generational chains, or proving to yourself that you were always enough, but you must find it. And once you do, everything changes. When your why is big enough, you don't need to be pushed, you become the storm. You become the force, and from there, purpose evolves into action. Because all the belief, all the vision, all the discipline in the world means nothing if you don't move the average weight. The greats act, they understand that clarity grows through movement, that success is not found, it's forged. In the sweat, in the doubt, in the repetition no one sees. You don't become unstoppable in front of the crowd. You become unstoppable in the dark. In those early mornings when your alarm breaks the silence and every cell in your body begs to go back to sleep, but you rise anyway. In those lonely nights where your friends are out and the noise is tempting, but you stay locked in on your vision. In those moments where everything tells you to quit, but you tighten your grip and push 1 inch further. That's where greatness is born, not in flashes. Not in viral moments, but in relentless, consistent, intentional action repeated until your mind, your body, and your life bow to your will.
And when it does, when your life begins to reflect the weight of your efforts, they'll ask how you did it. They'll ask what your secret was. They'll wonder what magic you found that they somehow missed, and you'll smile, because you'll No, the truth they weren't ready to hear. The secret was that there was no secret. It was the early mornings, the late nights, the invisible sacrifices, the self-discipline forged in fire, the vision you protected when no one else could see it but you. It was what you chose to do when no one was clapping. It was how you responded when no one believed. It was the pain you transformed into power, the silence you turned into strategy, and the rejection you turned into fuel, because you refused to settle. Because you refused to lower your standard. Because you refused to live a life written by someone else's fears. You realize something the average never will. The life you want is already yours, but only the strongest version of you can hold it, and so you went to war with the weak version. Every excuse, every lazy thought, every cheap habitat had to die. Not because you hated yourself, but because you loved your future too much to let the old you stay alive. That's the path. This journey isn't about just becoming successful. It's about becoming unrecognizable. Becoming the person your past self would have never imagined possible. The one who walks with conviction. The one who no longer begs for purpose because they embody it. You don't follow motivation anymore. You lead it. You don't look for opportunity. You create it. And in doing so, you become a symbol. A living, breathing reminder that average is not destiny, that greatness is not reserved. That purpose is not a privilege, it's a choice you make daily, with every action, every sacrifice. Every decision that says, I am not here to blend in, I am here to break through. Because when you were born, you weren't given a name and a job description. You were given a heartbeat, you were given imagination. You were given hands strong enough to build, and a mind powerful enough to rewire reality itself. So let them call you obsessed, let them say you've changed. Let them talk behind your back because that's exactly where they'll stay. You're not here for approval. You're here for impact. You're not here to be remembered as nice. You're here to be remembered as necessary. And you will be, not because you talked, but because you did. Not because you had a dream, but because you chased it like your life depended on it. And maybe it did, because the truth is, the most dangerous thing you can do is live a life that looks nothing like the one you were born for. But that won't be your story. You've already made the choice. You've already crossed the line. No more average, no more playing small. No more hoping life gets easier. You've chosen to become stronger. And when they ask why you're so focused, why you're so relentless, why you live like everything matters, you'll say, because I remember who I am. And I was never born to be average.